Hello YouTube, this is going to be my challenge guide video for Trial of the Ancestors, the new league that came out just 2 weeks ago I think. I'm finally done with all the challenges. They weren't that bad this time, but there were some really bad ones, and the league mechanic ones were just annoying to do, but I'll get to them. And yeah, this is the set you get for completing all of them. Kinda cool, I guess. Even though there's barely any difference between certain tiers, and there's a totem. Before I start explaining each challenge one by one, I do wanna kind of go through a bit of a small ramble about how I did my Atmosphere at the start of the league. I basically rushed through the middle here, I went right, I blocked all the leagues that have no challenges, so Heist you can block safely, Metamorph you can block after doing one easy challenge, so really you can block it at the start and then just use a Metamorph Scarab for the challenge later and unblock it and then block it again. Blight you can block because there's no changes with Blight. After you find Cassia, of course, you can anoint. Or if you have the Blight tab, you can just anoint with that. Uh, Breach you need for challenges. Abyss, there's only one challenge with this, and you have to be in a T15 map anyway. So in low tier maps, you can block Abyss. Expedition, there's no challenges with it, so you can block it. Mine isn't, because I like it, and this is my final 3. Harvest you can block, there's no challenges except the Oshabi fight, which you can just buy one and run it yourself. And Legion, you don't block it because there are Legion challenges. And basically I went through here, I went on the left here through the scouting reporting, I got Kirak's mission thing, just to help with map progression for 2 missions every day, and then I rushed straight to this node, Trial of Glory. Because Gift to the Goddess, it sells for a lot. And it keeps increasing because divines are getting inflated to hell. So yeah, like 1 in 3 chance every time you find an upgraded trial to get one of these. It's amazing. It's good currency. And I also took all the outside area stuff because an endgame grind is to do 50 outside areas or lab trials, so I was doing every single one I found in maps. So if you're going for 40 or 40, take outside areas and do them. I know they're shit. They're just pure garbage. The rewards are bad. You just die on them, but after I was done, I could unspec it, at least. Then I rushed to this one. This is a really good node for map drops, and I always have it, even in endgame. Because it's a 10% chance when you complete a map to gain a use of one of the league crafting options for free, which is really good. And this is also really good. 3% chance when you complete a map to get a special one, which are very useful for challenges, like Corrupting Tempest is extremely useful this league for one challenge. Monster's Treasure is just nice to get lots of scarabs when you have the Operative Strongbox node and you just use Ambush Scarabs and the treasure and you just go crazy, right? Alluring Valside area, obviously it's nice rewards and also for the endgame grind, it's good. And one of the other craft you can get is Improved Lab Trial, which also endgame grind, but also Gift to the Goddess, why not? Good currency. And yeah, that's about it. I always do Red Influence. Thankfully this league there's no like challenge to do a specific influence. So you could just do whatever influence you want all league. I only did red, I completely ignored blue because I prefer red. It drops guaranteed currency, chaos, regrets, unmaking orbs, lots of sextants which you can sell or use yourself. But yeah, this is my final 3 at the end of the league when I'm done with all the challenges. I will also post a link to it down below. So, with that ramble out of the way, about kind of my Atlas strategy, and obviously I was specking and unspecking leagues as I was playing to do challenges for them. Respecking a lot, that's why I did Red Influence, because you get so many respec points for free from it. You don't have to buy in making orbs. I never had to buy any to respec everything. Oh, alright. Now the challenges. Let's just start off top to bottom, just all of them. Beginner's basics. This is pretty simple stuff. Equip a magic utility flask, have something in every slot, add the ID or rare item, defeat act boss, simple stuff. This is the rig mechanic. Win a single match, spend stuff to buy a guy, kill 5 totems, which you probably get in your first match anyway, banish the boss totem, which also, you do this whole thing in your first match ever, when you win it. Okay, first vendor recipe challenge. Where did I, oh, there. Okay, what is this magic weapon with spell or physical damage? I mean, some builds, when you level through the campaign, you do this anyway, if you're leveling a melee build or a spell build, but basically it's something like this. If you want the fizz one, it's Whetstone, any Rustic Sash, any weapon. You get a weapon with physical damage, and you accept, and it should complete. Next, Hybrid Flask. Any mana, any life flask, one orb of fusing. You get a Hybrid Flask. That's done. Onyx Amulet. Any Onyx Amulet, or any amulet really, but Onyx also works with green, blue, red gem. Oh, I think it has to be Onyx actually to do this specific one, but yeah, this is easy. Just buy red, blue, green gem from Lily or from an act to Scrolls of Wisdom. That's that. Orb of Alchemy, just vendor a bunch of uniques at once, or like a lot of loot that you've gotten in the map at once, and you will get an alchemy eventually, automatically without trying. Act bosses, simple, you do this while doing the campaign. Deadly Deeds, open a strongbox, complete an abyss. You can also do an abyss in the campaign and then just ignore them until T15 maps, because you don't need to do abysses until then. Open a cache, you'll find these in Act 6, usually. Same for Expedition, you start finding them in Act 6. Easy. League mechanics. Spend 10k points for warrior guys or items or whatever on the vendors. Simple. Win a match with 8 guys. That's simple, you'll get lots of warriors. Activate the fuel item. You'll be doing this a lot for another one anyway. Equip an item to one of your guys. Easy. Act bosses 2. This is just do the campaign. Simple. Side quests. Which ones are these anyway? The Dirty Job I think was that? Yeah, it's the Fatigue Pool side quest that gives you respect points. You can do this while you're doing the campaign, or just go back when you are a higher level and one-shot everything. I went back later. Through Sacred Ground. Sacred Ground, I think this is in Act 2, isn't it? Yeah, it's the Golden Hand side quest in the Crypt level 2. So after you get your Life Trial in the Crypt level 1, you can go to level 2 and do this if you want. Fallen from Grace, I don't even... Which is this one? Not Act 3. Wait, what? Not Act 4. Not even Act 5. Oh, it's this one. Oh yeah, the Twilight Strand side quest. You do this anyway to unlock Lily and have her sell all the gems to you, so yeah, that's simple. Festus Fortuna. Why do I feel like this is like really later on? Yeah. Oh no, it's this one. Oh, it's Act 9. It's the calendar thing from the Foothills. You just find a big Minotaur guy and kill him, and you get 3 respect points and a random rare weapon, I think. Then no love for old ghosts. I'm pretty sure this is Act 10. Yeah. The elixir, which you will find easily in the... Where is it? The ossuary, which is right next to the waypoint here. You have to go here anyway for your lab trial, and also you have to go here to unlock Sanctum to get your first quest book. So do look for a room in there too for Divinia, or a book or something. I don't remember what it is exactly, but you get a quest book for the Sanctum from here as well. So there's like 3 things to do: the elixir for the side quest, lab trial, and book for Sanctum in there. And yeah, that's side quest challenge. That's everything for that. Okay. First, league specific challenge, because there's always an essence challenge every league, right? What I basically did was I was spec'd into essences since the very start, since I started mapping as soon as I could. All the nodes, well, not everything, but like here, these 3 for a guaranteed essence every map. Got this wheel, this entire wheel, and here you want to go through the left side only. You don't want Chance for Remnant of Corruption, because that makes the challenge actually harder. Just buy all your remnants. Trust me, it's better that way. And then this entire wheel to make tier higher. So what this challenge is: defeat essence monsters, you do this automatically. You will use more than 30 remnants, trust me. Uh, Gain Deafening Essences. This one is grindy as hell. Like, I don't know why they made it the highest tier, deafening, but yes. So basically, what you want to be doing every map when you find an essence, if it has a shrieking essence in it, and only if it has a shrieking, or I guess the purple ones if you want currency too, but if it has these shrieking on the essence monster, only then you corrupt it. And you hope that it upgrades, and with this node, it's guaranteed that you won't release them, so you only get a good outcome or no outcome. And if it upgrades and you're lucky, it will become deafening, and if it also has a shrieking in it, it will duplicate the monster, so if it has like 2 deafenings, well, you get 4. And you just get 75 essences to drop like this. It's gonna take a while, it's gonna take a lot of mapping, but that's how it is. And this one is pure RNG. Essence monster in a T16 map with 8 essences. People do sell this on the TFT Discord server. I think I don't know, I got it myself actually by corrupting an essence. If you find an essence monster with 7 essences, just corrupt it and see if you add +1 in a T16, and if you're lucky, you just get it yourself. People also sell it for, I don't know, 70 chaos or something. You can go to Global 820 or Trade 820, look if people are giving it away or selling it there. That's Essence. Okay, Shrine Challenge. This one's a bit annoying. What you wanna do is get these 3 nodes for a guaranteed shrine in every map, so you don't have to craft Domination every time. Maybe this one too for a bit more duration, to make it easier. I didn't take any other shrine nodes, because the other ones are useless, I think. Essence with 6 or more essences, that's very easy. Also, this has no map tier restrictions, so you can do this on tier 1 map, just telling you now. Breach Lord. You could just, while you're doing the Breach challenge and you're spec'd into Breach for a chance for Breach Lords, you could do this. Yeah, 20% increased chance to contain a Breach boss. And just have a guaranteed shrine, click the shrine, and then go to every breach you have in your map when you've used scarabs and crafted breach, and hope that a boss spawns while you have the 1 minute something seconds shrine on you. Harbinger boss is kind of easy, you'll be doing a lot of them anyway. You take guaranteed Harbinger here, then you also take this node here, 25% chance to be replaced by powerful boss. And if you see the big guy with the crown and like the special armor and a bunch of Harbingers around him that flame dash around and fire lightning spells and shit at you, and you know there's lots of obelisk totems and a lot of monsters, that's a Harbinger boss. So just kill a few monsters there, maybe a few waves before he gets to like half HP, click the shrine, go back, kill him without dying, and when the boss dies, this should complete. Legion General, that's super easy. Where's Legion? There. This node, 60% more likely to include a general, so you're better off doing this while doing the Legion challenge anyway, when you're fully spec'd into Legion. You just open some Legions and... Wait, do Scarabs actually guarantee one? Maybe they do. Maybe the... Wait, I want to upgrade all of them. Oh yeah, it does. A Gilded Legion Scarab guarantees a general. You could just use that and click a shrine and kill him, and yeah, that's that. Now, Delirium Unique Boss is spicy. What I recommend, make it easy, get a T1 map, like, I don't know, Plateau is nice. Put 5 Delirium Orbs on it, which I know may sound like a waste to you, but 5 Delirium Orbs guarantees at least 1 Delirium boss in the map, sometimes 2. And now that it's guaranteed, and you have the guaranteed shrine in your map, you just find where the boss is. Maybe don't even touch him if your build has a lot of DPS, because you might accidentally one-shot him. Find the shrine, click the shrine, go back and kill the boss in the tier 1 5 Delirium of the map, and that's that challenge done. Last ritual in a map is super easy. You just do a ritual in a map when you're 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 and you're about to go to the final one, click your shrine and do the ritual, and that's it. Now, there are a few other challenge things with shrines, so don't unspec it just yet, because look at this. I don't know why they separated it, but a Beyond boss while affected by a shrine. So when you're doing random maps with Beyond, maybe... I never had to spec into Beyond, honestly, but if you want, you can spec into Beyond for higher chance to get bosses and more merging radius on the portals. When you get the boss, just go back, click the shrine and one-shot him, and this can be in any tier map. And then you can unspec shrines And that's Shrines. Okay, Breach Challenge. 60 breaches. You could just get this by using Breach Scarabs and crafting Breach on the map device. Super easy. Clasped Hands. Now, if you're going for 40 anyway, or even 38, you might want to buy the Nico memory that makes the entire map a breach. Not the contains breaches hands are small, the other breach one, because this gives you a lot of breach lord clasped hands, and also breach lords themselves in the map, but it makes it hard, so you might want to, I don't know, do the memory in like a red T14 map or something when you have 3 Void Stones. And yeah, this will get you lots of hands, or you could just, you know, be spec'd into Breach, have this, because it does happen sometimes, that special hand, but also this. 100% decreased chance to contain a grasped hand, and 4% chance to spawn a boss, which is nice, and also the Breach Scarabs, yeah. The polished ones even guarantee 1 hand in every breach. So you do a polished or gilded, then you craft breach, and you have like this node, which actually procced for me a few times. And I was just doing like low tier white strand maps and doing this because I didn't care for the splinters or rewards. Then complete for breach stones, you do this anyway when mavening the 4 basic ones for the hidden invitation. And a flawless one, I bought the flawless off one because I didn't want to do a harder one. And I barely was able to do it. I had 8 seconds left and the wave like reached the portal and boss room and the timer stopped. I was super behind. I thought I would fail, but no, I was barely just enough, but yeah. Or you could buy a carry for it, you know. There's also that. People may be selling it, or you may ask someone. And that's Breach. Now, oh no, this isn't a ritual. This is the league mechanic. Any 7. Oh, I've done all of them. Yeah, this is pretty simple. Just do a bunch of the league mechanic at 100. The ranking is like, I think, level 68, so like map tier 1 when you get to maps. Just have any 7 of these tribes in the final round and beat them. And yeah, well, you'll do all of these automatically, I'm pretty sure. But you can also pay attention to which tribe it is and only knock out the ones that you already have. I did that. Harbinger challenge. Okay, 60 Harbingers. Fairly simple. You just craft Harbinger on the map device, use Harbinger Scarabs, and you're spec'd into the guaranteed Harbinger right here. And honestly, I just spec'd fully, like, into the entire wheels for Harbinger just for fun. And I got like 7 or 8 fracturing shards, which I sold for a lot of currency. So that was nice. You could do that if you want. 200 rares, you do that easily. 25 bosses, this is a bit annoying. Also, it doesn't count the bosses in the beachhead map, so don't even think about doing it like that. You have to get bosses in maps with this node, 25% chance to be replaced by a powerful boss. So just do maps with as many Harbingers as possible. I didn't use Sextants, you could if you want. And then 5 red beachhead maps, you could buy them, or you could just use all the Harbinger orbs you get and, you know, on random T15s and you eventually get them, I'm sure. Like, boop, boop, boop. I didn't get one. But yeah, you get the gist of it. And that's Harbinger, it's fairly simple, kind of easy. Legion is fun to do in maps, and this is also an easy challenge. The last part is just a bit grindy, but eh. 30 legions, just scarabs and map device crafts, open warhordes. For this, you want to be spec'd into this additional warhorde. And I also like fully went all in on Legion, like the timeless emblem thing, emblematic. Got this and this just to help. Like 2 additional rewards, sergeants. I didn't get the chance because obviously I'm guaranteeing it with scarabs and map device crafts. I got all of this, yeah, just for more rewards because I had the points. Why not? Just to full juice it up, and yeah. You open a bunch of chests, unlock the 5-slot map device, which is just do your 4-way fight. In my opinion, you should use the Eternal Kurui Vow and Templar, because Markef is more rare. And then you do a bunch of 4-ways, because I think For me at least, 4-way gave me the most amount of generals per fight. Now, maybe your build has a bit less DPS, maybe you'd want to do a 3-way, so it's a lower level and they do less damage and they have less HP. But just do a bunch of 4-ways, kill as many bosses as you can, reset, reset, kill, reset, kill. I had to do like, I don't know, I don't know how many rounds. I just bought these emblems in bulk. I had 15 or 16 of them, now I have like 11, 10, 6, 10, 8. Got one unrelenting. Got a bunch of fucking jewels. I mean, a lot of jewels. And yeah. That's the Legion challenge. Now Delirium challenge. Activate Mirrors of Delirium, this is pretty simple, you just touch it and then you can even skip the encounter. Gain rewards, you get this by 5 Delirium Orbing maps, which you have to do for another challenge anyway. I got this automatically without trying. You already done this for the Shrine challenge, I'm assuming. Is it the Shrine one? Yeah. So you've done this already, if you did the Shrine one. And then do a bunch of simulacrums. On my build, I can't really do anything more than wave 15 or 20 or 21. That's when I start dying and losing all my portals. So I just bought a bunch of simulacrums and random, like 7 or 8 or something. 10 really, if it's wave 15. But yeah. Fairly simple challenge. You don't even have to spec into anything on the Atlas for Delirium to do this. You just do this on your own. There's the ritual challenge. Under the rituals, trust me, you'll do this before anything else. Reroll 100 times. I was spec fully into rituals, so like always 4 altars, and not this wheel, but this thing, the blood-filled vessel, because why not? Rerolling costs less, and you can reroll 2 additional times. So I just kept rerolling 3 times every map. And used blood-filled vessels. You will use them, trust me. For map bosses and rituals, 200. This is so grindy and so much RNG, I have no idea why they did this. It feels like an endgame grind. It should have been 100 at most. Now what you might want to do is favorite city square, which is... yeah, there it is. Favorite city square as many times as you can and then one connected. I just did Crimson Temple, because why not? The city square has 3 bosses. And now what you want to do is, I know it sounds bad, but any tier 11 that you have, Horizon it into City Square. Any T10s, treat 1 vendor them into City Square. Just treat 1 vendor everything you can for them. And any T16s, City Squares, and tier 11 City Squares, you just drop them in and you alt spam until you get twinned. Map bosses are twinned. And then you get 6 bosses. And then you either craft a ritual from the map device or just run with Stream of Consciousness and block other leads and get like the big ritual chance wheel here, and it should spawn fairly often when you've blocked like almost everything else here. And what you're hoping for on the twinned map is for the ritual to spawn on the boss. And I have no idea if it's buggy or if it's supposed to interact this way, but it doesn't matter if you do the ritual at the map boss first and then do the others, it's only gonna count 6 one time, the first time you kill them in the ritual. So like, it doesn't matter. I just do it last because then the blood-filled vessel could drop with the bosses, I think, from the other node. Also, sometimes the city square bosses are buggy and only like 5 or 4 of them count for being in the ritual itself. So when you use a blood-filled vessel, it doesn't copy all of them. And another thing, yes, you want to use blood-filled vessels if you get the ritual on the bosses after you kill them. Because you want to save these and then use them on another map. 4 of them, maybe not 4 at once. Might be a bit much for some builds, but like 1 or 2 with the bosses. Then you just get more map bosses, and that's basically the loop. You buy ritual splinters, or you buy the vessels themselves from players, or the splinters from the rituals. You get twin city squares, you run them, you hope it spawns on the boss, and yeah, eventually just gather up blood-filled vessels with the bosses from twin city square, and you run them in another city square or another T16, I don't know, and you just do it. Another thing to note is, if you've used a blood-filled vessel on a map, you cannot use a vessel to copy anything in the map, because that's just how it works. And this took me a lot of maps, like 2 days of grinding and thing. It's long, it's boring, but it has to be done. At least when you're done with it, if you don't like Ritual, you can unspec out of it, but hey, I mean, I got 2 Doctor cards and a mirror from Ritual, so I'm a believer now. Got so much currency from it this league, it's insane. And that is the Ritual challenge. It's very, very grindy. Okay, league mechanic challenge thing. Use field items. Those are like the stone idol totems you can buy from the NPCs instead of warriors. And for some reason, not all of the possible ones they sell are on this challenge. I don't know why. But yeah, just use 17 of these. So when they're selling one, check your challenge. If you don't have it, buy it, put it on your field, press V to use it while near it. Easy. Do all your labs, fairly easy. Just, get all your skill points. This is actually an easy divination card challenge compared to other leagues, because it doesn't list specific sets. You just have to go a set with 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 9 or 10, 11 or 12. And I mean, you can get cheap cards for a lot of these. Like, look, this is a 6 set Porcupine, this is 5, this is 10. I don't know, I mean, 4, 3, 1, 8. There's a lot of cheap cards you could buy. I'm sure you'll just automatically get them if you're opening all your stack decks and you're not hiding any cards on your filters and you pick up all the cards. I got this without even trying. It's super easy. Okay, Vendor Respite Challenge number 2, which isn't that hard. I can destroy these. No, that's what I meant to do. Why is it there? Okay, let's do the first one first. Magic Ring or Amulet with Chaos Resistance. So, what you wanna do, I guess, is just take a random Amulet or Ring and Alteration spam until it rolls Chaos Resistance. Now I tried this and first it rolled tier 2 and I couldn't do it because it was too high of a tier, so you wanna roll a shitty Chaos Res like T6 here. You take that, any Amethyst Flask, well, not the unique one probably, and then Augment, and boom, you vendor it for a tier higher. Amazing. Then specific vendor recipe unique. You need the Vengtar Square map anyway for a different challenge, so again, 4 Ragnarok staffs make the Vengtar Square, and doesn't matter what eye level they are, because that just determines the tier. You don't need it to be T16. That should complete that. And you also do this for another challenge. Orb of Fusing, Vendor 96 link. Easy. Okay. We just put this back, and I guess put this in the maps. Exalted Shard. This isn't so easy because, well, it's still kind of cheap. Like, the prices are pretty much the same, which is kind of surprising, because this league, they reduced the drop rate of influenced items from Elder and Shaper Guardians in the bosses. But still, you could just buy a full set of either Elder or Shaper, but you can't mix and match them items, so weapon, two-handed works. Helm, boots, chest, gloves, amulet, ring, belt. And you vendor all of them. You get 4 Exalted Shards. And that's that challenge done. No, misclick. What is it there? Okay, oh boy. Use a bunch of crafting orbs. Most of these are easy. Transmute, chromatic, annulment I just used on a random shit rare because I don't use those on crafting anymore. Not really on this build. Alteration, Regal, Chance, Chaos Orb, you probably do it on a map when rolling, Alchemy. Exalt, you probably do it on Cluster Jewels or something, or Jewels. Scour, easy. Blast Orb, you'll be doing it to min-max your implicits. Fusings, you have used a Jeweler, easy. And it wants you to use a Divine Orb, which kinda sucks, but listen, I mean, if you're gonna use a Divine, you might as well pick a unique you're wearing or like a rare that has a really shitty roll and try to reroll it. I picked my Alva Gloves because they only had like 33% damage with hits against shield enemies, and it rolled to 39, so it's better, I guess. But yeah, use your Divine on something that it's actually useful on, is what my advice is. And that's that challenge. It sucks we have to use Divine, but it's how it is. Okay, another League mechanic one. Use 18 of the tattoos Romans. All these tattoos, you can get cheap ones of them on trade. For like 3 chaos, 1 chaos, stuff like that. And, you know, doing the League mechanic gets you a lot of tattoos. Even the big ones. And the omens... Where are the omens? Where did I put them? There. Most of them are like consumed on death, some of them on level up, which is annoying if you're a high level, like 95. You might want to just make a new level 2 character, go out of Line Eyes Watch, get the Omen and level up in a zone and use it up like that, but yeah, it's stuff like, oh, when you die, add 300% of lost XP to gems, Adrenaline when you reach 25%. Soul Eater when you level up, when you die, you prevent some of the XP loss. This is a good one. Guarantee 6 sockets when you use a jeweler. It probably sells for some currency actually. This one again. White sockets, which is actually kinda nice. When you die, blah blah blah. 25% of life again, 25% of life again. Just get a few of these, use all the tattoos, and you should be done with this fairly easily. And that's that. Okay, unique maps. Do all your unique maps. The only expensive ones are Ancestral, because it's just rare and people use it for XP farming. The Rean's Machinarium, obviously, it's from Delve. It's a rare drop from certain bosses, and I guess not many people do Delve, it's just that rare, it's expensive. It's just under a Divine, I think. And yeah, but what is it? Vingtar Square there, the one we got from the Agnorod staves, rendering the 4 of them. Easy to get, but yeah, you spend probably a bit over a Divine on the expensive maps, and the rest you can find yourself or get Kirak to give them to you. Use singular scouting reports. That's easy. Sanctum Challenge, which is only important in level 81 or higher books. So when you're doing the lower books, don't even think about this. But yeah, when you get to T14s and you start dropping Forbidden Tomes at level 81, and as you can see I have quite a few of them. Because I've done some Sanctum runs. Not a lot, honestly. But yeah, complete a floor, easy. Well, you have a major boon, you get these from the vendor or from a packed room. I have an Accursed Pact. Now the Accursed Pacts, obviously you can only get them from the purple-yellow hand packed rooms. And they're the special ones that have like a unique icon and a special name. Like for example, gain 10 inspiration at the start of every room, your inspiration resets every room. That's a major, not a major, it's an Accursed Pact. Or Guards Are Twinned, the little pentagon starting that's yellow and purple. Those are 2 examples of Accursed Pacts. There's others as well, just take one that won't completely, make it impossible. And if you really aren't confident in finishing the run after you've killed the floor's boss, you can always sell the next floor to someone. Because it only says a floor, you don't have to do the whole run with the pact. And yeah, personally I got the inspiration one, which I think is really bad, but I somehow was able to do it with just resolve. Barely, by just using fountains and other stuff. Sanctum mini-boss, you wanna do all the mini-bosses anyway on all 4 floors to unlock your Relic Locker fully, so you'll do this eventually. But if you have done all of the mini-bosses before getting to 81 tomes, you will have to look out for one again while doing the floors. And they are always in specifically named rooms, and I'll post a link to a cheat sheet of room types in Sanctum in a comment down below, even though it's a bit outdated because there are new rooms and traps, but it should still be fine. I'm still using it and it's good enough. It tells me if there's a mini boss, it tells me if it's a exit traps room or a find exit room or a boss gauntlet, which you don't always want to be doing because you're gonna lose a lot of inspiration sometimes from them. Guards, you get this automatically by just doing some Sanctum. There's a lot of them in the Sanctum. The guards are just the unique enemy guys. And well, you have a unique relic. The unique relics are just like challenge run thingies, like coins are wanted to experience. But this isn't really making it harder, but this. Duplicates 4 random offers, can only be used on tomes. Oh, cannot be used on tomes below 75, so only 75 plus. But you cannot recover resolve. And it obviously takes up a slot in your locker, which means you get less relics to use. But yeah, just do a single challenge run in a 81 Forbidden Tome, and that's that. I did pretty much this unique relic thing, the Cursed Pact, and the Major Boon, like all in a single run. Because I just got lucky, I guess. It's not that hard, really. And that's Sanctum. Corruption challenge. This is fairly easy. Corrupt or implicit. If you haven't gotten one, just take a bunch of random rares from your stash in your cell tab or something. Corrupt them with Val Orbs. You get an implicit eventually. 20 or 20 quality gem. If you're leveling 6 gems in your offhand, like me, of your main skill, and you're trying to get it to 21, you will get this. Vow Temple, just corrupt a bunch of T16s. You will be doing that anyways for an endgame grind if you're going for 40 or 40, so I do recommend doing that. Vow specific unique. I'm not really sure what this means exactly, but I was just corrupting random crimson jewels and I got fragility, and I guess this counts. It's either just any jewel that can only be gotten through corruption, or specifically like a certain set of items that count as Vow items. I don't know, but kind of easy, just corrupt some jewels. Crimson is probably the best because Rain of Splinters sells for quite a bit. And Light Socket, you'll probably also get as well, corrupting just random armor for the implicit thing. Easy challenge. Okay, cross-contamination. Do weird stuff while you have other weird stuff on you. Challenge, I guess. We always have these every league, it seems now. Defeat a possessed map boss on a ritual. Just roll map bosses are possessed on a map and then, I guess, hope the ritual spawns on the boss of the map. I think you'll get this automatically. I certainly did. I didn't have to try to get this. It just happened by itself. General while you're in a breach, in my opinion, is way too much RNG. Even when you can guarantee them with Gilded Scarabs. Like, you would, first of all, you'd need a small map, like either Glacier or Iceberg. Because in my opinion, those are the smallest maps on the Atlas this league. And you would need to use a Gilded Legion Scarab, and then also, I guess, some kind of Breach Scarab, and craft Breach maybe to get as many as possible. And hope that your Breach spawns near your Legion, and then open it and have the, like, Breach is open and close slower node here. And then while you're in it, you would need to click your Legion and hope that your General has spawned somewhere near the breach so you can still be in the purple stuff and kill him. And wait, like, I don't know. Also, the timer on the Legion is gonna make it weird. You need to wait for the timer and then open the breach, I guess, and then wait and then kill the General. I don't recommend trying it. You could, I guess, if you want. Breach Lord while Delirious. Just like, use one Delirium Orb on a T1 map and craft a bunch of Breach with Scarabs and Breach craft on the map device. Have the Breach Lord Chance Spect over here. And just hope you get one from all the breaches, and you're always Delirious in a one Delirium Orb map, so you will get this after a few. Beyond boss were affected by a shrine, we talked about this, just run a bunch of Beyond, spec into it if you want. I didn't have to, but you can always do it to increase your chances. Then have the guaranteed shrine node over here. And yeah, when the Beyond boss spawns, you see a big, like, glowy red explosion with effects. It's very obvious when he spawns. You see an icon on your minimap. Run away, click the shrine, run back, and kill him because it's a tier 1 map. He should die super fast, and he shouldn't be that dangerous, I don't think. Even on my squishy build, he wasn't, so eh. And this one is what I did. Metamorph in Harbinger within 10 seconds of the first dying. Just basically have this guaranteed Harbinger node. Use the Rusted Metamorph Scarab in a tier 1 map. Go in. Get enough organs to be able to spawn any Metamorph. Put them into the vat so they're ready. Then go to the Harbinger. Spawn the vat on him. Like, if you're a totem or a minion build, just wait for your stuff to kill him. And when he dies, instantly click create on the Metamorph and just kill it super fast. And you should get this super easily. Now, if you don't want to do the Delirious Breach Lord thing, what's easier in my opinion, but it's gonna take some time, an unknown amount of time because it's RNG. If you get Corrupting Tempest Craft from this little notable here, 3% to get a special one, you could just use Corrupting Tempest on a tier 1 map and then you know, craft essence on it. Or just have the guaranteed essence, I guess. And just wait for the Corrupting Tempest to hit you and give you the little red buff for like 8 seconds or however long it is, and then just open the essence and kill it. It's definitely easier than the Breach Lord Wild Delirious, but it will take you some time to just get a Corrupting Tempest craft. You could just wait if you want, and when you get it, you'll be done with this challenge. That's cross-contamination. Okay, I've done everything here, even though you only need 24, because League Mechanic, I did it up to 500 ranking. And I did not have fun. Banish totems. This is easy, just fight against a bunch of different tribes, banish a bunch of different types of totems, because they can have all the stuff you can buy, all the different units, and also obviously the boss ones like Tukohama. I guess they're only this is the only ones here. That's kind of weird. Okay, fairly simple. Maestro Mastery or Maestro, I don't know. Yeah, I did 3 of these. What I recommend if you don't want to bother wasting time and currency, just buy carries for these from TFT Discord server. I bought the carry for all. Surprisingly, people were actually selling it. What they did was they were a duo party. One of them did the taxi for us, and then the other one killed it, so that the first guy can still keep his taxi for it. So that's smart. They were just selling it on the server for like a divine, I think, if I remember right. Valomethect I also bought for, I don't even remember how much, some chaos, probably. Bestiary boss will have any bestial aspect. What you want to do is either when you have... Where is he? Where is he? Jorgen. When you have Jorgen in... Where the hell does he have to be again? Wait. When he's in Fortification, so not here, not in Transportation. If he's in here, he will have items with bestiary aspects. So when you get the intelligence for the safe house and do it, you'll get a bunch of random rares. Just equip one of them, and it's nice and easy if it's like something like a ring, or maybe you could just buy a ring with it. I just bought this off trade and crafted the dexterity I needed on it. Aspect of the spider scare, and what it does is it basically gives you an aura, and you have to activate it and use it while killing the bestiary boss. And if you found one by just doing Iron Harren maps, do it, and if you haven't, buy one. I already found 2, a spider, and I did the cat boss. And I died a few times because he's rippy. But yeah, if you die, make sure to remember to activate your aura again, because you need to have this active when the boss is at like 1 HP and Ironheart shows up and throws the net at him. That's when the boss dies, in quotation marks. And it should count when it gets captured and you have this aura active, any of the aspects. I just have this ring randomly from trade. Fairly simple. And if you don't want to do all, because it's kind of cringe trying to fight him in Delve, you could just do Katarina, which is actually super easy, this one. I just didn't because I didn't do enough Betrayal this league. I kind of ignored it. I have 20 missions. But basically, while you're doing a bunch of maps, you might want to spec into Intelligence Gathering, then Intelligence for a random safe house when you complete the map. And eventually, one of these bars will fill up, and when it does, click it, because it can still roll Intelligence for something you already have full 100% on. So you might as well use it as soon as you get one. And eventually you will get Katarina and 83 when you're doing T16s, and then... damage from their sculpture. What this means is the big stone statue slab in the middle of the fight, it does like green banana waves, right? In each direction, like here, here, up, and right. You just need to not get hit by any of those green waves that get shot out from the statue in the middle. So just pay attention to it, don't let it be off screen, run around, have a build with lots of DPS that can insta-face her. And you should be able to do this easily. Like, just don't get hit by the big green waves from the statue. And that's that challenge. Okay, this is kind of an easy one, I guess. Just did it super easily, because I had enough DPS to instantly kill these bosses. Amalgam of Nightmares and Carcass. Also, all this has to be in tier 16 maps with 80% quant. So make sure it's a tier 16, put chisels on it and alchemy it until it's at least 72, so then you can do this 8%, and I don't know, maybe add sacrifice fragments for more if you want. Like 4 of them are 5% each, the shitty Adziri ones. But no, it's super easy to get an 80% quant map. And yeah, Carcass, the boss there, Stormcall, I think it's like the lightning doo-doo-doo-doo thing it does. Just don't get hit by it. I mean, honestly, if your build has enough DPS, it's gonna die in 1 second without even doing the Scorpion phase. I did it like this, I just killed it instantly and got the challenge. Cold River. This map has the Lunaris and Solaris bosses, so without being hit by Skybeam or Glaive. Skybeam is probably the big yellow laser that just comes down, and Glaives are probably the little blue banana things that Lunaris throws at you. Again, I killed these two instantly with Ice Spear as soon as they spawned and got the challenge. Sunken City is an annoying fucking Arakali phase boss. But Laser Barrage is pretty easy to dodge when she's aiming and she's gonna start doing the fucking shotgun chaos lasers, just don't be in front of them. And you could do this easily, I just chose not to. Kitao without being hit by Fire Breath again, most builds will have the DPS to insta-face him. And then I did the Reef one, because you can cheese the phase by just opening a portal and going to your hideout when he's doing the immunity phase. Stormcall in that fight is the little blue circles on the ground that appear while he's immune, and like the mermaid is also attacking you from the side. You don't need to dodge the mermaid's attacks, just the circles on the ground. And also in the final phase, like when he goes out of his immunity and he can be killed, he also starts doing random storm calls on the ground while he's active. So just remember that, you still need to dodge if it takes you a bit to kill him. I just one-shot him though, so, you know, got that done by just cheesing it with portals. And that's that challenge. Remember, they have to be tier 16 with 80 quantity. Okay, Mechanical Mayhem. I kind of got this without really trying much. This is just 1,000 mechanics. There are the 10 blockable leagues and masters. Now, I'm not sure how this interacts with June. Maybe every mission counts for 1 point. Not every mission, but like every encounter. So like you interrogate the guys when they attack you from intervention and you get one, and then research is one and the other is one more. But for some reason, when you're doing Nico missions, every soul fight thing that you click counts for 1 progress for this challenge, instead of the mission only being 1, even though it says just masters. I'm not sure if that's buggy or if that's how it's supposed to interact, but hey, I just did a bunch of Nico, and I also had Pact with Energy, because movement speed, it's nice. And yeah, basically just do a bunch of rig mechanics. You'll be doing them anyway for other challenges. This is super easy, in my opinion. Okay, Atlas Memories. If you're going for endgame grinds, you're gonna be doing a lot of these anyway, but obviously you wanna get 6 different ones. 6 different ones first. And there are cheap ones you can buy for all of them. Like, I have one here, Kirak's Memory of Survivor's Guild, which is the Harbinger one. The Harbinger. And then also Kirak has another one, which is Domination. Has shrines with Pantheon monsters around them memory. I did the Alva's Reversed Incursion memory. I did Nico's map contains breaches, breach hands are small memory. I did the Alva's Ambush in Sequence memory, and finally I did the Abyss. I think Abyss was also an equal memory? Not sure, but yeah, all those were cheap, like a few chaos to buy. And they all just have to be... Well, really, this challenge is only the final map, has to be T16 with 100 quant, which is super easy to get when you use 4 chisels in Alchemy, because it has so much increased effect. And yeah, but... Again, if you're going for endgame grinds, what you want to do is make sure that at least all the maps in the memory in the whole sequence are red tier, and make sure all of them have 80 quant when you're rushing to the boss and killing it, because that's what I recommend if you don't care about the rewards, just go to the boss, kill it, go out. Because there is an endgame grind to do 125 memories in red tier maps with 80 quant, so yeah. You want to do that, and this is fairly simple, getting the 6 different ones. And then for the endgame grind, what I recommend, because it has, I think, the most amount of maps for the cheapest, is getting the Nico's Memory of Breach something. It's basically maps contain extra breaches and breach hands are small. Like the hands are super tiny. It has 6 maps when you use that memory, and it's only like 3 chaos. I had to buy, I think, 16 of those memories and run them. And what I recommend, I don't know if this is the best way, but it's a way that I did, and it was kind of fast. Start your memory in Mesa map. You could also remove a Void Stone, and it's still T14, which means it can still drop Guardian maps, and it's a bit easier, so you can do that if you want. Start it in Mesa, and it's either gonna go like... It never actually went to Dunes for me, which is weird, but it can go Val Pyramid or Iceberg or Alleyways. Volcano is kind of fast. Dark Forest you can get to the boss super fast. Tropical Island. Academy is annoying, Lava Chamber is linear, and then it either ends in Terrace or Chateau. Or it can go through Pit and end in Terrace. Like, my end maps were always Chateau or Terrace every time. I think that's the fastest. You can choose a different map if you want though, but yeah. For boss rushing, that's what I did for these memories. Anyway, I'm talking about that a bit earlier, but yeah. Navali's Never-Ending Nirvana, oh boy. This is a League Mechanic challenge, which if you want to save... if you want to save some time and your sanity, I recommend doing this in a 6-man group. Just literally go to Globo 820, type looking for 5 more people for Navali's Never-Ending Nirvana, number whichever one you need for this. Now, what we have every position is easy. You get this just by a bunch of warriors, right, at 200 ranking, and just win the final round. This is not easy, the second one. Third one is easy, you can do it yourself. 8 warriors with equipment, just buy a bunch of equipment for them, and no field items, which I never use them anyway, so who cares. The hard ones, though, are the 8 field items on your field and no warriors. So you basically have to spend the whole tournament making sure you've bought 8 field items, then save them up for the final round, which is round 7, I think. And then just remove all your warriors, put the 8 items on the field, and get a 6-man group with like an aura bot and a minion build and just completely cheese the fuck out of it. Because holy shit, it's so impossible to win alone on my build, even though I one-shot stuff. Like, just get people to help you with this, and other people will be looking for this, trust me, especially if you post in the looking for group channel softcore on TFT Discord server, people will whisper you. And yeah, 8 field items, and then also just nothing on your field, a completely empty field, no warriors or field items. You need to do these two separately, obviously, because you need 8 field items for the other one. And also, you can use up the 8 field items, don't be afraid to do that, it still counts. But only use them if you're sure you're all not gonna wipe and die and fail. Like, because you can still die one time and then try again, and you'll keep all your items if you haven't used them, but yeah. I basically made sure I had 16 field items, that's I was paranoid, but we did it first try. And yeah, the other one, empty field, you just, again, get a 6-man party, and do that. Trust me, it's much easier in a group. Okay. All-encompassing Alamanc. This is a slightly different one. Reach a total of 1,000 by either defeating Witness map bosses, which for some reason doesn't count in the Maven's Atlas invitation, or any of them, I think. It has to be like a Witness map boss in a map that you're Mavening, which is pure garbage because you might as well do Influence, which gives you even more altars, yeah, or activating altars or completing maps with Scarabs or Sextants. Like, you're better off doing Influence all the time. Each Scarab and Sextant apply to maps count towards this challenge. Okay. Hmm. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait a second, I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. If you're going for 38 challenges, you will want to do this, even though it's slightly grindy. what I did was basically... What was I doing while I was doing this? Oh yeah, I was doing in-game grinds while I was doing this. Because I had corrupted a bunch of maps to get 8 mod red maps, 100 of them. So while I was doing my corrupted maps, which what I did was I 3-to-1 rendered every map I had until I got reds. I horizoned them into the best map I could think of to rush the boss, so T11 I did City Square, T12 I horizoned into... You get the deal, just horizon into whatever you want, and all your T16s that you don't want or are easy to boss rush. Corrupt everything. I had to buy like... excuse me. 400 horizons and 400 Val Orbs for like 2 divines just to have enough to fucking Val Orb everything. And yeah, while I was running my 8 mod maps, I was just using 4 sextants and I was using 4 scarabs with growing hordes because I really didn't care enough about what the scarabs added, so I just used my shittiest ones that I would never use, like unique items, tormented spirits, Nickel, Metamorph, Blight, you know, any ones that you don't care about, use them for pack size and it still works for this challenge with growing hordes. And yeah, and if you're not doing in-game grinds, well, just do this with the Sextant and Scarabs on your normal mapping. You know, you still get a lot of progress for this and influence. And if you're using like polished or gilded Scarabs that you don't need, you're adding even more pack size, which means more influenced monsters, which means way more authors. So you get lots of progress for this. Like I completed this and the endgame grind for 100 red tier 8 mod maps at almost exactly the same time. So yeah, I recommend doing them together. And that's that. Where did I go? Oh, there. Wait, what? No, there. Okay. Oh boy, this challenge. If you're only going for 38 for the set and you don't want to get 40 challenges for the shiny totem, I recommend skipping this because holy shit, it's so hard. I have no idea why this is a challenge and why they thought the average build or the average player could do this reasonably. Like, I don't even see people doing carries for this in Trade 820 or the TFT server yet. I don't know. I did it myself, barely. Basically, complete any 6 of the following, all the Guardian maps basically, 6 of them. While they're T16, which is important because, yeah, obviously the Shaper ones are always T16, but these, the Elder and Conquerors, can be T15 and 14, so when you're rolling one, make sure it's tier 16, so you don't waste your Delirium Orbs and everything. And yeah, T16, 5 Delirium Orbs on them, 4 Sextants, which is easy, 4 Gilded, which I just did with Growing Hordes. Oh, no, actually I didn't. That's a horrible idea, don't do that. Do 4 Gilded normally, but ones that don't actually add hard content to the map, like Gilded Nico, uh, Gilded Reliquary, Gilded Ambush, Gilded, I don't know, Gilded Div Cards, and then maps found or something, or a gilded metamorph, and just ignore all the content. Because even on this build, with Freezing Pulse, oh my god, I barely had enough DPS to kill white mobs and I was scared and hiding behind every room. It's rippy as fuck. I had to go slowly, little by little, go into a room, go back into the previous room. What the maps I did, which I think are the least annoying, are Phoenix, which by the way had a fucking Delirium boss in the Phoenix boss room. I still somehow killed both of them with Ice Spear. Minotaur, which is linear, and surprisingly enough, linear tight corridored maps are better for this in my opinion, and I'll explain why in a bit. And then the other ones I did were 3 Elder Guardians. So Enslaver, which I think is the fire guy. Not the fire swords guy, but the other guy that does like ignites. Eradicator is the electric guy. Purifier is the yellow sun guy with the sword tornadoes. And then I did Baron because I think his D is Conqueror. But Maven can randomly heal them, and that's really annoying. I had to do Baron, try it twice on 2 different maps because I failed the first. I failed this 3 times overall, I think, so I had to buy 15 more Delirium Orbs. But yeah. Like, if you go in a wide open map, like I went into a glacier map with the Conqueror in it or something, or an Elder boss, Elder Guardian in it. What is Glacier? And holy shit, when you first enter, because the map has so many influenced monsters and so much shit in it, because of Delirium also, everything is just gonna jump at you, and if your build doesn't have the defenses or the damage, you will just die and be soft locked. And Cast on Death Portal most of the time fucked me in those maps, but in the Glacier map, I could actually just death run enough to get to the door to the other part of the map, and I barely ran to the boss and did it anyway. I don't recommend wide open maps for this if your build isn't super tanky, because you will get like swamped and stormed by and overwhelmed by all these enemies. Especially the Baron Conqueror like influenced mobs are also annoying with their lightning spells and the ghosts that get left behind after you kill stuff. Most of the influenced mobs are annoying. But yeah, if you're only going for 38 challenges, skip this. Just trust me, skip it. It's very hard and very annoying, and you waste a lot of currency and time. But, okay, insane invitations. This is kind of easy. You can also just buy carries for it. I see people selling feared carries for this. You just need to be a build that can melt these bosses and is a glass cannon like the one I'm playing. Uh, but yeah, it's just Exarch and Eater of Worlds, which are actually kind of easy to do at 80 quantity for most builds. And remember, the 8% quantity on the map device doesn't work on any of these invitations. It needs to be 80% on the item itself. And then all the Maven invitations, all 6 of them, so Shaper Guardians, the Elder Guardians, the random memory maps, Breach Lords, Feared, and Elder Slayers. And I did them when I was doing them the first time for skill points. Depending on your build, you might want to get people to help you or find carries, or do them yourself. And that's that invitation. Get all your favorite map plots. You do this by just doing what I just described in this one, because you'll have done the Feared and everything else. Easy. Okay, the final question mark? Is it the final? Yeah, it is the final League Mechanic Challenge for Ancestor. 300 ranking, so you don't care about this until you get to 300, and same for the other one. This is at 200. Wind Trial of the Ancestors at 300 ranking, so just win the final round without ever losing a match. So in the previous matches, no losing, without ever activating field items, which I don't use them anyways, I think they're bad. Without ever completing a match with equipped equipment, just don't use any equipable items ever in any match. And without dying, which is interesting because white mobs one-shot you at 300 plus ranking, and the bosses especially one-shot you. Now, I did all of this on my very first tournament when I first reached 300 ranking. Like, I just did everything at once. I didn't die, I didn't use equipment, I didn't use field items, I didn't lose. And after that, I just started dying so much in every tournament. I have no idea how I did it. I guess I was just really careful. I placed my totems far away, I stayed off screen, but yeah, you just have to be careful. And I don't know, maybe try getting a group for this, but I think it's actually easier than the other one. And maybe in a group, if someone dies, you'd be fucked because it wouldn't complete. So I think most people can do this themselves. It might be annoying not dying. Like the last one is hard, I think, not dying, especially if you don't have many defenses. Okay, Antagonistic Adversaries is fairly easy. This is the one where you do an Abyss Lich and then you block Abyss forever. Wow. You just do Abysses in tier 15 or 16 maps and you spec into this, 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 and this. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes is all you need, and then just do Abyss Scarabs. And if it won't cost you that many points, you can allocate every gateway. No, not that. Gateway. Like this, these, and these allocated, and then get the 7th gate, which is gonna let you craft Abyss on your map device, so you can get 2 guaranteed Abysses with the Scarab and the craft. I did that, and I tried it a lot, and I just never got a debt, and then someone was giving it away for free on the TFT Discord server just for a vouch. So I just went in and got it that way. Then, of course, after that, I randomly do an abyss in a fucking memory map and I get the depths anyway, so it's just RNG. I have no idea how rare they are. It felt like they were more rare now than last league, but eh. Izaro is, if you've been doing improved lab trials, you get these, a bunch of these, which are cheap. And you just do one of them. I did dedication, I think, because it gives you belt enchants, and it's also easier than the tribute. Just do the improved lab and kill him. Should be fairly easy for most builds. Just be careful, he's rippy and has attack speed and HP in them. So are the mobs and the traps. Be very careful of traps in that improved lab. Lycia, this is Sanctum. Just kill the final boss of the Sanctum in a 83 tome. Or 81 would work too, I think, because the monster level seems to go up the more you go through rooms and floors, but just in case, get an 83 one. Oroth is a expedition boss. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it's the Danig one? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. You could just look it up, I guess. Wait a second. Yeah, Knights of the Sun. It is the Danik boss. Okay, it's Knights of the Sun logbook where the boss spawns. I didn't do it because I think it's way too rare, and I also didn't do much expedition while doing the challenges. I am spec'd into it now though, because one big explosion keystone is fun. For Shabi, you just buy that Blossom, it's 70 chaos, it might even be lower now, and that's how I completed this. Master, in my opinion, is extremely expensive and not worth it when these others are cheaper. And the Vox Twins is the final level 83 unique contract that you get after you do all the story contracts and after you've done the other unique contracts. It's like a rare drop from Smuggler's Caches and maps. So if you like heist and you're doing a lot of heist, you could just do this. I don't do heist though because I don't like how laggy the town is. And there's no heist challenges, so I just blocked it instantly this week. But yeah, that's that. And finally, if you're going for 38 challenges, this is your final one. Defeat any 5 of the pinnacle bosses in these ways. Cortex with their 12 pits or pylons. Apparently this is bugged, or was bugged. I don't know. I saw a post about it on the forums. I don't know if it's fixed yet. So do be aware of that. It might still be bugged. But I think you just have to wait enough in the fight for 12 pits or pylons to spawn. I didn't do this because I just one-shot for Cortex anyway. I did some other ones and bought carries for others. Elder within 10 seconds of defeating Shaper. I don't think this works in the field, but it's basically normal Wilbur Elder, so, you know, not the one with this, just regular level 84. You just have a build with enough DPS to insta-phase them and then just kill them together within 10 seconds, and this should complete very easily. Now, what I did Cirrus myself, just because, why not? I mean, I think you also need to do him for a favored map slot. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But yeah, without getting hit by spinning negation beams, which is the red lasers that spin around in the final phase when he splits in 4 and does them in the middle of a ball. Just don't get hit by the lasers, they debuff you and you die very fast. I just insta-phased him and then killed him in 1 second as soon as he entered the final phase, so I didn't even see it. So, yeah. Either worlds without being hit by tentacles. Again, I had DPS to kill him super fast, but just don't get hit by any of the big falling tentacles or the... I guess the melee tentacle attack he does count too, probably? Maven without being affected by the spinning things in the final phase that disable the regen on your character after completing successfully 3 final phase memory games. I bought a carry for this because, god, I hate Maven's memory game. I don't do that fight only because of the memory game. So, try it yourself if you want. I bought a carry on TFT. Searing Exarch around being affected by cauterized flesh. I think that's just don't step in the runes on the ground that reduce your fire res. Again, I killed him instantly without even... Well, I think I saw one ball phase and died, and then I finished him because he like did a guaranteed one. Same for Eater of Worlds. I think Eater of Worlds, like, at a certain HP threshold, just did his inescapable doom thing. But yeah, I did Exarch myself, it's easy, and then Shaper without being hit by any of his or his clones, non-basic abilities. So his auto attack probably doesn't matter, but you know, don't get hit by the balls, by the big laser, by the slam. I did this myself while mavening him for Feared. And that's everything if you're only going for 38 challenges. But if you want 40 or 40, well, let's talk about then game grinds. Valside areas or travel sentences were I did on this in red tier maps, so really you only need to do all Valside areas and trials when you get to tier 11 plus. Only do improved lab trials in lower maps if you've taken that node. And yeah, when you're done with Valside areas in this, you can unspec the Valside area shit, because it's really bad in my opinion. 8 mod red tier maps. I already explained how I did this. I just 3-to-1 all my maps, got a bunch of city squares horizoned, got a bunch of other shit horizoned, and when you fail and they don't corrupt into 8 mod, and by the way, it's fine to corrupt them white, because 8 mod is just like an outcome of corruption. It doesn't need to be alchemied to get 8 mods. Like, it just doesn't. But if you fail and you have 3 corrupted maps of the same one, just vendor them for the next year to just get another try at corrupting another map. And yeah, eventually I got all of them together. I already had like 25 done, so I only needed 75. I got all 75 and put them in this tab and then just ran them a bunch. When I ran them with Scarabs and Sextons and Growing Hordes for this at the same time. And that's that. The Atlas memory, I explained I got the Nico memory with the map contains breaches and breach hands are tiny because it has 6 maps per memory. It's really good. I had to do 16 of them. 80 quant all the maps, that's easy. And then rush to the boss. I did it starting from Mesa map. That's that. And win matches, I did very last. This is the last thing I did in the league because I did everything else already. Just win 150 matches over 250 ranking. Easy. Just do the rig mechanic a bunch. I mean, how much did I do it? I have 404 coins left. I had like 615 when I started doing it, when I hadn't done it at all league, so you don't need to do it that much. And yeah, that is all the challenges. They were fairly easy, except the league mechanic kind of sucks and the rewards suck, and it's annoying to play when everything one-shots you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like if it helps you, because it does help get the video around to more people. Subscribe and all that stuff. Have a Twitch link down below too if you want to follow, because I'll probably be streaming, I don't know, hardcore level 90, because I'm still missing like one achievement in the game on Steam in here. Level 90 as a hardcore character. I'll do that, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have a mirror to buy something. But yeah. Yeah, that's the whole video. What else is there? I guess I can talk about my final atlas, my strategy, because I like Ritual a lot now, because it's given me a mirror and 2 doctor cards. Basically what I'm spec'd into is Ritual and Expedition. And yeah, and Red Influence. And if you want to use Scarabs instead of just going with Stream of Consciousness, you unspec Stream of Consciousness and then just use your Blood-Filled Vessels or Scarabs. And if you want pack size for the expedition encounters and for altars, you just get Growing Hordes and use Scarabs you don't want. And yeah, you just swap those 2 points around whenever you want. And you have exactly enough when you have all 132 points to get this tree. I will put a link to this tree down below in a pinned comment, so don't worry. And yeah, that's everything I think. Like, fave if you've enjoyed, all that, and also feel free to comment any other method or tips you have for the challenges. I in no way claim this is the best way to do them. This is just what I found was easiest to do them. Like, if you have some advice, feel free to post it, and maybe other people can, you know, benefit from it. But yeah, see you in the next video, whatever that is. Maybe Sanctum content, I don't know. See you later.